Some people think that apologizing equals I'm bad, I'm evil, I'm crazy, I'm wrong, and they just can't apologize. They just have to make excuses and justify and blame and everything because they can't forgive themselves that they're not perfect. No one's perfect. You're not, nobody's perfect. Strange ways they still show up and love you. Alana Pratt here, intimacy expert, host of the podcast Intimate Conversations. People are weird. I'm weird. We all are weird when we're hurting, when we're uncomfortable, when we don't know how to forgive ourselves or forgive another, when we don't know how to clean something up, when we don't know how to make up for the damage done. So we try to sort of do this around the corner, around the side, because we don't know how to just be straight, open our heart, put our walls down, say I'm sorry, clean up our mess and move on. So sometimes people will try to say they love you by cooking for you. Maybe they're still being persnickety or passive aggressive or withholding sex, but they just do these strange things and they create this like 5-course meal for you. Or maybe they remember that you really like jewelry, or you really like a new watch, or you really like your car washed, or you really like a special kind of Prosecco, or whatever it is. And they'll buy you that, but they won't just come out and say, I'm sorry. And they won't slow down and say, we need to create a new agreement, or an agreement in the first place, so that we don't hurt each other unknowingly over and over. Or we need to go to counseling and really handle this, because this never happens around the kids. This never happens around religion. But God, when we talk about money, every time, right? They don't know how to say we need help. They feel ashamed that you need help. They should just like, you meet the one, you live happily ever after. And anything that's other than that is like, la, 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 stuff it down. Let's not feel our feelings. And they'll do these other actions, maybe brag about you to someone else of how amazing you are, rather than tell you how amazing you are. So they have these strange ways of trying to love you kind of from the outskirts, rather than clean up the elephant or the herd of elephants in the living room, and just say, I'm sorry. Some people think that apologizing equals I'm bad, I'm evil, I'm crazy, I'm wrong, and they just can't apologize. They just have to make excuses and justify and blame and everything because they can't forgive themselves that they're not perfect. No one's perfect. You're not, nobody's perfect. And if somebody hasn't learned how, what I do for a living, intimacy, right? They haven't learned how to have an intimate relationship with themselves, which means they haven't yet learned how to keep their heart open to themselves when they fall down, fail, mess up, aren't perfect. They're all discombobulated inside. They're at war with themselves on the inside. And so that inner conflict makes them do these strange, kind, thoughtful things, but they never address the problem in the first place. They never apologize. They never own it. They never clean it up. They never create a new, stronger foundation of agreements and aligned values together. So that's kind of like what happens and why it happens. And that's all lovely to have more awareness and understanding, but it still doesn't solve the problem. What solves the problem is for us all to do the deep inner work, to have an intimate relationship with ourselves, to be able to keep our heart open to ourselves, to be able to forgive ourselves so that we can come home and trust ourselves again, know what we know, hear the wisdom inside of our heart, not the spinning of our mind, and be able to come to peace and home on the inside, so that from no justifications, no excuses, we can go to our partner and just say, I'm sorry. And that's the end of the sentence. No, but you, or but I, no excuses, just, I'm sorry. It's a full sentence, done. And then, how can I make up for the damage done? How can I clean this up? How can we get stronger because of this? What else is possible that we've never considered that we could create as a couple that would allow this wobble to allow us to have deeper roots for higher shoots in our relationship? Would you be willing to talk about that with me? And if you need support, I'm here. I know this lady Alana, she could help us, because a solid relationship with you is the most important thing for my life and the example that we are to the kids or our friends or family or what have you. Like, that's the work we need to do, people. And it starts inside. If you don't have an intimate relationship with yourself on the inside, there's no scientific possibility that you can have one on the outside. It's just not even possible. How could I give you $10 if I didn't have $10? I couldn't. I could want to, but I couldn't. So how can I give you vulnerability, transparency, honesty, presence, grace, forgiveness if I haven't given it to myself? No possible. Yeah. So the how is to do the work. A way to do the work is to come into our wonderful community. We have our Heartmates online curriculum, plus the live conscious connection calls every single week that literally teach you more about who you are, teach you how to express yourself unapologetically, teach you to listen profoundly without interrupting. It's a wonderful program. You don't get me there, you get my amazing facilitators. So if you're looking for time with me, then I've got a group coaching program where you work with my Alana Prep Method coaches. I've got my inner circle where you work with me privately and group as well. We've got incredible retreats that are epic. Quantum shifts, quantum leaps, non-linear jumps, like crazy shit happens beyond. I plan tight, hang loose, because it always gets better than anything I could ever imagine, because there's a collective genius that arises when we come together with this shared intention of deepening our intimate relationship with ourselves, with our bodies, with the divine, and with our beloveds, so that we can deepen our relationship with our kids, we can deepen our relationship with money, our purpose, so we can make the difference we're freaking here to make on the planet, people. Yeah? So that when you're in relationship, it's not, oh my God, you complete me, and you need to stay the same because you've saved me, or I need to control you. Like, that's so last year, people. We're about heartmate relationships, where two whole people come together. Not perfect, whole. Means I take full ownership of who I am. My happiness is my responsibility, right? Two whole people coming together. When you put that together, it's one and one is infinity. For humanity, for consciousness, is good shit. So that's what we're about. Go to my site if you haven't already, alanapratt.com. There is a complimentary intimacy blind spot assessment, so you can get an idea of what's going on beneath the hood. Because if it was conscious, you would have figured it out, right? Sorry about this wind. I live in Wyoming. Look at that. I'm like a flag right now. My blouse. Anyways, we're going to help you figure out what that intimacy blind spot is. Because if you could have seen it, you would have fixed it. Me too. I'm no different. And when you find it, awareness is still not enough. You still got to do the work. But it's a great step in the right direction so that you know where you're going to put your time, energy, and resources to heal this, shift this, integrate this, so you can be your best self for your intimate relationships with yourself and others. All right, so check us out at my site, and thank you so much for your question. Much love.